Hello. I'm going to talk today about loneliness. And I feel like as INFJs, we are lonesome a lot. And for me, it is something that kind of has followed me around. So I'm going to talk about it just out of my own experience. Um, and I have 5 reasons why I think we are lonely people. Number one, we crave personal connection, and our culture doesn't support that. We desire and crave to be personally connected and have deep conversations and have kind of a kinship with people. And in our current culture, I've said it before, I feel like um, there's this kind of like busyness is next to godliness. Like if our schedules are packed full and we don't have any time for anything else and we are working very hard to make lots of money to buy lots of things, that we are achieving something, that we're arriving. And that kind of pace and that kind of life doesn't leave much left for personal connection. It doesn't leave a lot of time to develop relationships because we're way too busy running around. And I don't think it's just us INFJs. I think we're better a little bit at taking that time and slowing down. And I think that, as a culture, most people are just busy, busy, busy. And if your schedule isn't packed tight and you don't have something going on every second of the day, that you're not successful. I feel like that's kind of the feeling that I get over our culture right now, that, busyness is next to godliness and we're just not making time for people. Number two, we understand everyone, or at least we think we do. And we crave that for ourselves because we can, really see into a person, see into their soul, understand what they're feeling, feel their feelings, see the whole big picture of what's going on. We, are able to understand a person more maybe than they kind of understand themselves. But we crave that for ourselves. But because we are, and I hate this term because it puts in a mystical quality to INFJs, which irritates me a little bit. But because we are so rare statistically, because there are so few of us, in our real lives anyway, we can't find another person most of the time that can understand us the way that we understand them. And that's kind of a lonely feeling because we want someone to understand us, and we live a lot of our lives feeling misunderstood. And because, INFJs are so rare, and even intuitive types are so rare, we can't find another person that's going to understand us. So we get a little lost, and we can give that so freely to other people. But when we don't get it in return, you feel a little bit empty because of it. Number three, we see and feel the pain in the world. And because we can absorb and pick up other people's emotions and understand them, we see and feel the pain in the world. And I think right now there's just a chronic, epidemic of loneliness for all people. And when you're out in the world and you're meeting people and you're talking with people and you're picking up, well, at least I do, when you pick up from other people loneliness, despair, and discontent, and then you bring that in, you're going to feel it then as well. And until you can realize, like, that's not me feeling that, that's other people, you end up kind of feeling that loneliness yourself. And I think people are really lonely, our culture is just so lonesome. We're so craving connection, and we're craving just time with people, and it's just not happening. So, you go out in the world and you pick up all these emotions and then you bring them home and put them on like a coat, then you're going to feel despair and loneliness yourself. Number four, and this one's kind of an odd one, but I'm going to try to explain it. We are meant to be the sage. I couldn't think of a different word, a sage in a tribe. I really feel like humans were meant to live in small tribal communities, in small, like villages where everybody needed each other and everybody played a role. And we were meant to be like that sage type person that was able to speak out our God given wisdom, share our insights with our tribe, with our village, and guide them into the things that needed to be done and the things that needed to change, because we can see all sides of a situation. We can see the big picture. We can see, the hurts in humanity and know what needs to be fixed. And the way that our culture lives is we don't live in villages and communities and tribes anymore. I mean, maybe some of you have that, but for the most part, we live in separate homes. We have separate lives. We go to work. We come home. Even our families are broken apart now. Your children move out. They have their own thing. We've lost that like tribal village aspect of humanity. And I don't know the fix for that. I think that's why a lot of hippies started communes, because they were trying to start that up again. But, our purpose, our God-given purpose in life is to be a sage for a tribe, to be able to be that wise person in a tribe that people and the elders and, the leaders of this tribe and the people that were having troubles could come to for wisdom and advice and counsel. And if we're stuck in our homes, having our own little self, we can't fulfill that. So that soul purpose that I feel like is our soul purpose, and I feel like that is why we're so rare, why we're sprinkled around the world, why God just kind of sprinkled us around the world like fairy dust, because we are meant to serve a small population of people, and that's our purpose. And as our culture is now, we can't do that. So then we're very lonely and we're very discontent because we're not fulfilling what we're made to fulfill. I wish I had a fix for that. I'm looking for a tribe. And the last one, number 5, is we isolate ourselves. And for me, I isolate myself because the world is too painful. Because of that FE, because of that extroverted feeling. And for me, it's a very strong function. The world is very painful to go out in. It's difficult for me to be in a crowd of people, absorb all of that emotion, know that everyone is hurting so much, and there's so little I can do. And I'm going to try to be a little more brave with myself, because in the past I have spoken out to what I thought was my little tribe, and tried to, speak some truth into people, and I was hurt by that. So I have to learn, to still be brave. And the other thing is, we have very high standards, very high moral standards for ourselves and for other people and for relationships that we're in. And we tend to push people away because of it, because we're kind of hypocrites. We can't even live up to our own standards, yet we expect other people to live up to them. So we're a little hypocritical, and we tend to push people away, or we're intimidating to them because we are, I don't know. I can't ever understand how I could be intimidating, but I do feel intimidation off of a lot of people, and I know I've discussed that before. But yeah, INFJs are lonesome people, and I wish I had a fix for it. I think speaking out for me has really helped a lot. I am incredibly grateful for this community because I don't feel as lonesome. I feel a lot more supported, because I feel like I've found, at least digitally, at least over the internet, I've found a tribe. And I would like you guys, if you have any other insight into this, if you have any other comments or you disagree with something that I've said, I'd like you to let me know, because I love your comments and I appreciate them, and I appreciate your support. And thank you so much, guys. Live and love out of the way you were created.